Hi guys, my name's Emily, and today I'm going to talk about Tamora Pierce's Tortall and Other Lands, a collection of tales. This is a collection of short stories by one of my favorite children's fantasy writers. I just have to say straight off the bat that I love Tamora Pierce. I think Tamora Pierce writes incredibly interesting fantasy worlds. I think her female characters are amazing. I think a lot of her side characters are really well fleshed out. I think she is funny, and I think the creatures that she creates are really, really cool and neat. But I did not like this collection of short stories at all. I was so disappointed. So the back of the book says that collected here are 6 wondrous shorter tales from the land of Tortall featuring previously unknown characters as well as old friends. And so when I read that online, I was like, okay, so there'll be some new stuff, and then I'll get to see some old friends. The old friends that were in here were kind of minor characters in larger works. They didn't feel all that friendly to me. If you're familiar with Tamora Pierce, you know there are a lot of amazing side characters that are funny that don't get a lot of screen time because we spend a lot of time focused on our main female character and her struggles. I was expecting something maybe about Neil when he's off with Alana, or something about George as a thief lord in the city. This was not what I was expecting at all. The stories are all over the place. I found that if I read one a night, I was okay with that as a contained thing, but if I read a couple in a row, I just felt so disjointed. This actually contains major spoilers for the Immortal series and the Trickster series. You kind of have to have read some of her other works, otherwise you will have ruined some larger plot points in her other works. There were some short stories that I did like. The final short story is kind of based on Tamora Pierce's experience working as a house mother for troubled youth, I guess. And I enjoyed that story. But then there was one story that was just so horrifically gross. The description of childbirth and the afterbirth was so graphic. And then, of course, you have to suspend your disbelief here for a minute. The father of this child is a crow who has shapeshifted into a human. And crows don't spoil the nest, and so he keeps carrying his children to windows to sploot, is the word that they use. Sploot out the window. There's just so much splooting out into the royal rose garden, and it was gross. It was really gross. Like, the amount of splooting that happened had nothing to do with the story, which is the man coming to terms with the fact that you don't cull the human herd. Like, for crows, if something is wrong with an infant, you cull it. You kick it out of the nest because you don't want that diseased thing in your flock. For humans, if you have an imperfect child, you don't cull it, you love it anyway. And so it's his journey as a father, but the amount of splooting, so much splooting. Overall, this was really disappointing. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't read Tamora Pierce. I do highly recommend that you check out some of Tamora Pierce's other works because I think she is a fantastic author. I think her worlds are amazing. If you like fantasy and you like YA, you should do it. You should check it out before you die, because you're missing out on something. I would highly recommend you start with Protector of the Small series. I would not recommend this to someone who has not already read Tamora Pierce. Like, if this is your first taste of Pierce, I can't see you going back. It might be worth the read if you're a fan already, but as a standalone thing, I would not recommend this. So based on the other books that I've read by her, this is a 2 for me. This is a 2 out of 5 stars. Like, it's not badly written, that's not why it's getting a 2 out of 5 stars, it's 2 out of 5 stars because it doesn't stand up to the experience of reading the rest of her works for me. If you are a Tamora Pierce fan and you have read this, let me know what you thought. Did you like the characters that showed up? What did you think of the new characters that were introduced? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!